From sports to culture, mental health to economics, politics, relationships, and life issues.
Sit down and catch up with Aaron 868 and Ricardo Mitchell as we have casual conversations on serious topics.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the Trin Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
Culture crazy.
And to paraphrase the great Keisha Harris, better known as Lady Lava, stop, are coming in fast.
All right, let me cook.
Right? As Trinidadians and Tobagonians, we are very hypocritical people. Hypocritical to our core. And if you don't believe me, think back to last week when the unfortunate news, and I have to call it unfortunate, because a man was murdered by persons who said that he would have committed a heinous crime. And people in the comment section, because our fourth watchword or phrase in Trinidad and Tobago is here for the comments, people in the comments were praising the action and saying, yes, justice. We needed to do something like that. Send a message to people who doing things like that. This week, over the weekend, I was at a car show in Saparia. At the car show, the announcement was made that they were looking for the young lady who was a victim in that heinous act over the weekend.
Yeah.
The name was called on 2 or 3 occasions. After the third time, they stopped calling the name. So, in my assumption, they stopped calling the name. In my assumption meant that she was found.
Oh.
So, my attentiveness to the situation would have waned. Because I assumed you were asking for the young lady over the PA system, and then you stopped. I thought she was found. Then on Sunday morning, while getting ready for church, I had the unfortunate news reading online via various persons' posts. And then on Monday, the picture started to circulate of the person who would have been held in connection with that heinous crime.
Yeah.
And again, in the comment section, bring back, as you would have played one of your calypsos yesterday, bring back the Cato 9. He needs to be met with blah, 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 and all these different things. I'm not going to repeat any of it because I don't want us pulled down for any community infringements, right? We are swift to pass judgment on people because when I say judgment, the judge, jury, and executioner aspect of judgment. But for things that we don't have all the information for, we ask any question, why are we upset?
Help me cook here. I mean, who asking why are we upset?
There are people, part of our population, I don't want to mention the ongoing case.
Yeah.
But I think you understand the ongoing case that I'm talking about, where we don't have all the information.
Yeah.
People ask any question, why they run? People making the aspersions and casting judgments. Well, it's her fault. We don't have all the information, but we're passing judgment there.
Right.
In situations where we as the public have information, but we still don't have all the information, we passing judgment there. So is it that we are at a place where some things are good for judgment to take its own hand and other things are bad?
I get that you're talking around what you want to say because you don't want to say certain things. We don't talk around it so much that we don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
What is your issue with people taking issue?
What is my issue with people taking issue? Is that we pick and choose which things important to take issue with.
Boy. You know what the term for that is, my good sir?
Selective outrage.
High five.
Oh, we could actually done it.
Oh, yeah.
we sitting next to each other.
Yeah. Wow.
But again, I understand, as we have established in previous iterations of the living room, that you cannot direct 100% of your attention to every single thing. It
Fair.
is impossible to do that.
Also unwise.
And not to compare, but we are not omnipresent. We are not omniscient that we could be involved in everything. We are not God. Which also brings me to say we are not the person that is supposed to cast judgment. Judgment doesn't belong to us.
What did I vengeance?
No judgment.
You sure it's not vengeance?
You stand up by St. Peter Gate with him?
You sure Peter there?
I hope so. I hope he there when I reach.
Out of curiosity, where you see Peter, where in the Bible does say Peter by the gate?
No, Stalin say that.
Oh, Stalin said that. Oh, sorry. The book according to Stalin.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, here the catch with judgment, right? We're supposed to pass judgment, but we're supposed to pass righteous judgment.
Right.
Judge righteous judgment is an actual thing.
Right.
Right. However, judge not lest you be judged means the way that you.
if you live in a glass house.
There we have it. Right. The way you judge and what you judge with is the measure by which you will be judged.
Correct.
Right.
So, which is why a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
when I hit you the cuff to your chest, talking about we also need to have empathy. We need to show care for the persons who would have ended up passing through our judicial system.
Yeah.
We need to show them care, because when they come back out, you would want them to not end up in the same thing. So show them care, show them the love, so that they don't go back down the same path.
Hey, compassion is a complicated thing. Understanding, forgiveness, these are very, very important concepts. They are very, very difficult to practice sometimes.
But you see, the thing is, we asking people to have compassion, but we not willing to give people compassion.
Because we are hypocrites.
Which is why I started with how I started.
Hey, big up to Elvis on the Marabella taxi stand. Because something that we spoke about yesterday morning would have been, again, our hypocrisy as people, because everybody else have excuses, we have reasons. So if if somebody come into work late, you gonna say, oh, she always have an excuse. But when you reach to work late, it's because you have a reason.
I always laugh at this. And I don't want anyone, I'm asking for this to be a no judgment statement.
A NG,
Carlo.
a no judgment zone.
Yeah.
I respect NJZs. Go ahead.
Right? As when I was a single man, right? I would get to work reasonably early. And every day while at work, some of the women who have children, every day they would get to work either late or just in time, or whatever the case is. And the statement would be, way boy, all they getting real leeway, but if I make a child and I could get them same kind of leeway too. And for me, that is the difference between reasons and excuses. Because only when the paradigm changes to you would you understand the level of responsibility, the weight of responsibility that comes along with having to take care of a child in the morning.
I had to bring Elvis in the station because we spoke about that as well. He said that when you're dealing with children, like when you're dealing with family, once you're dealing with other people, your timing subject to a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more unknown variables.
Forgetting the keys on the counter, right? You might have pat downs and you're good to go, but you're moving with somebody that they might have to go back inside to pick up something.
Correct. And that 10 seconds, right, could be the difference between getting caught in 1 hour of traffic or 3 hours of traffic.
Yep.
Because unfortunately, to record the episode for this week, I would have said I was leaving work at 4:05. And I left work at about 11 minutes past 4. And it took me 20 minutes to get no more than 5 kilometers.
Yeah, better you'd walk.
No, brother, man. I might get 40 something minutes. Because it has some hills and valleys inside there now.
I agree with.
And the sun was also hot.
Today, well, by the time I see this, it would have been yesterday. Clothes drying in the washing machine. It is hot.
kind of washing machine you have around?
Not a real old one. But what I mean is the place so hot that the clothes drying while it washing. Aaron, it was ridiculously hot.
Nah, the clothes can't dry while washing because while it's washing, it's in a load of water. It's soaking in water.
Hot water.
But that don't mean it go and dry. You're losing the plot.
Potato, tomato.
You are losing the plot right
Potato,
now.
tomato. What I'm saying is, well, yes, it was a scorcher. Alright? And so much so. That's how I ended up traveling with Elvis. Because when while he was driving past and I flagged him down and he was like, he had to go and drop somebody by the health center before he make the block.
Mm-hmm.
And I, in that instant, had to decide between going on the extra drive or standing up in the hot sun and waiting to see.
Nah, brother, I going on that.
I was like, let's roll.
That reminds me of, as we mentioned, traveling. We have to acknowledge any situation that took place this weekend in Erin.
Hey, yeah.
I'm not meaning to bring that back up because I know that's a heavy topic.
Mhm.
But I totally understand. I respect the parents who make those travel arrangements to take care of their kids. I remember some years ago, I jokingly asked a family member of mine why my little cousin doesn't travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I was not aware or I did not take stock of everything that was taking place.
Yeah.
So I know it will be hard for some parents. I know it will be hard for others. And this is where we ask for empathy and understanding for the taxi drivers or the communal transport people. Just how I ended last week's episode with the economic aspect of it. You don't have to make a mint of everybody. Sometimes you could just get half the mint from two people to make the mint. If you understand where I'm coming from.
I get you, bro. I get you.
Right? I wanted to keep with the mint analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Break the mint in half. Charge two people the same thing if you realize there are two families that can't afford it on their own.
I spoke about us as a community trying to make some of these decisions and arrangements in yesterday's High Talk. And it is going to take adjusting. It is going to take moving from an area of relative comfort into a manageable risk versus the unmanageable risks that we're exposed to right now. Because Aaron, I will tell you, sometimes we finish our gig and I stand up on the stand waiting for transport to go home. And I, at that hour in the morning, it have you, like 200 pounds with a considerable amount of, with enough self-defense training that while I scan, I don't have the concerns that somebody who is of a slighter frame or of a different gender might have, right? There are things that if it were to happen, big man give me this, big man give me that, versus the take your hand off my thigh kind of thing. I'm just saying, statistically, it have risks that are way lower for men and
that I understand.
Right.
But I'm also looking at it from the aspect that regardless of gender or anything, given that time frame in the morning, if you're outside, there's a level of hyper-vigilance. Hyper-vigilance.
And that's the thing that I wanted to get to. When a car pull up, you will take the transport available, depending on the time and depending on where they're going. Right? Well, I mean, you're shaking your head because that's your wallet and your keys there. Right? You drive. You have your vehicle.
I'm still looking at it from the aspect of when I had to travel. Because I distinctly remember there was a time where... I was going to give an example.
I know, I'm going to, this is what you call logical fallacy, people. I'm introducing elements to undermine the validity of a story. I do it for a reason. Trust me, I'll get you there. Go ahead. There was a time.
You really want me to tell the story?
What I did there was what you call a red herring, right? I actually threw something into the equation that drew attention away from what it is you were trying to talk about. So regardless of
what politicians just be doing all the time?
Anyway, that was a story you wanted to tell?
Because it has something about that I want to talk about, that itching man. But anyhow, that is not why I come here today to talk about. So there was a time when I had now started playing music. I'd gotten the opportunity to play at a bar in Port of Spain. right? And if my parents listening, I lie to you. I'm not going to hold that back now,
You know what? Confession is good for the soul and is best done on air.
right? So I told my parents that I would have had transport secured to go to and from this gig,
Mm-hmm.
right? A partner of mine was going Port of Spain, so I get it drop up.
Right.
And he said, depending on the time he coming back down, because he went to check a young lady, he would have let me know. And once I'd finished, I would have get to come back
So in
down.
other words, if he get through, you ain't getting through. But if he ain't get through, you'll get through.
Right. He get through.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Transport unavailable.
2:30 in the morning, now done. Well, we finished 2. 2:30, I look into trot down from Arapita Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
because I ain't getting no taxi,
Right.
down to Independence Square.
Yeah, that's a serious pull.
And that's a serious pull.
That's
2
a
o'clock
serious
in the
pull
morning.
anytime, much less for 2 o'clock
Right.
in the morning. Mm-hmm.
So, I decided to take the more busy road route,
Right.
which I cut down from the avenue. Well, cut across the avenue and walk straight up until I reach Colville Street.
Mm-hmm.
Realized a lot of traffic was going across into Port of Spain. I ended up saying, nah, I ain't taking that chance. I swing down Colville and went onto Rising Road, where I saw people go passing all the time.
Right.
Walk Rising Road up to Brian Lara Promenade, cut across, and I went to look for a taxi. I got to the taxi stand around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had some pep in my step.
Yeah, and that's a peppy half hour. Yeah, easy.
I
Yeah.
was younger than 2, so I was fitter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Didn't have all that
Anyhow,
experience.
on the road, right? Now, when I got to Independence Square, there were 2 taxis.
Yeah.
And I found the occupants of those 2 taxis, they were looking a bit, as we say now, sketch.
Mm-hmm.
The man says, Sando. I say, nah, brother. And next man comes, Sando, nah, brother. 3:30, they're still waiting. 4 o'clock, I see a man now pull up. And he offloading people like they're now coming up to work.
Right.
I asked the man, I say, Sando. So now the 2 men here, man. I say, but we asked him if he going Sando. I say, nah, I ain't going Sando. You going Sando, big man? He say, yeah. I say, how much for the car? The watchman. Say, come on, 100 for the car now. Bet. As the young people would say.
Mm-hmm.
Jump in the car, going down the road.
Right.
Now, again, the hypervigilance for me was watching the people who were in the car,
Got you.
watching the kind of car.
Yeah.
It made me be like, nah, but it ain't worth that risk.
Oh.
What I'm off when I reach home.
Well, yeah, because
I probably reach home and it's 5 in the morning. And you know the funny thing, when I reach home, my brethren, he messaged me. Yeah, but I'm not looking to come down the road there.
so you didn't get through because he did. But what I will do is throw in another logical fallacy into the equation. This one is what I call a straw man. I'm going to take one element of your thing and make it a focal point.
Just like the politicians.
So you function from a position of privilege there because you could have afforded to pay for a whole car to ensure your
I
safety.
could not have afforded it.
But so then what? You still owe any man?
No.
You jump out 100 and pay for the vehicle to reach down the road, right?
Right, but you know what had to happen next time?
You have to wait for your partner.
Exactly. Because
You are telling you that night you could have, so you did. There are some people that can't, so they have no choice.
okay,
That's the thing. Now, when you ask, so why they do that? Why they didn't? Usually, it's because it was the best of a bad set of choices. A terrible idea is only a bad idea next to a worse idea. You know?
correct. And the thing is, a lot of us don't understand the concept of choosing between the bad and the worst idea because some of us have never been put in a position to choose between a bad and a worst or a worst idea.
Worse, Sarah.
Worst, Sarah.
Yeah, so I get you, and all the fallacies aside, I feel it when I'm one of the people who always asking people, so why you do this or why you do that? But it's not because, it's not from a position of judgment, it's because I really want a better understanding of the conditions that led you to make that decision. That is legitimately a little bit of judgment, but mostly, it's not smaller than that. mostly legitimate curiosity as to why, when any options were available, you chose that one. Because I don't want to judge you. So if I feel judgment, I want to address the judgment I'm feeling. It's very self-centered. I apologize. It's not always the gentlest way to deal with people in a situation. But I need to know, because I've made decisions without thinking before. And I've made bad decisions having thought about them. So I love to find out what people were thinking or what were the conditions under which they made those decisions. That actually increased my empathy and compassion and understanding in remarkable ways. And I'm not tooting our horn here. I'm saying when you understand why people did things, it is easier to commiserate with the outcome. Because people talking about the uncle and the mother and the father, this was just literally a little girl who went by her grandfather, and the grandfather put her in a car to go 5 minutes away. That is not supposed to be a high risk.
Yeah, it's not supposed to have that level of risk.
It's not supposed to have that level of risk associated with, to the point where, all right, it's 11:30 a.m., right? Put on your live location, right? Stay on the phone with me for the whole 5 minutes. Or worse yet too, let me go with you, make sure you reach and then travel back up the road, all those.
I pay the man for a trip to go and to come.
Right, but even those things, paying a man for a trip to go and to come means you might have to spend $40 instead of the 10 that you have. Well, I just saying that there are always factors that contribute to these why they didn't scenarios. And this is somebody who I literally don't have a day that's passed and I do ask somebody why they didn't do something, or why they did or why they didn't, or what did they do.
Okay, Judgment Penguin.
I do understand Judgment Penguin. For those of you who don't understand Judgment Penguin, I'll probably put a B emoji. But I get it. But it is also necessary, because I don't want to say situations like this could be avoided, but they're going to happen. So we have to do our best to manage and mitigate. Because now if we get these are the things that people can exploit, what can we do? What can we do to secure against it? Because you see that demonic behavior, that thing that exists inside people, that you would take advantage of a girl in the middle of the day like that.
Hot sun.
That is a depraved action. That ain't normal. So we can't do nothing about that, because that is such a high level of unpredictability. You tell me you literally don't know when something like that could happen. But you know what you could do? All right. We could put measures in place for the irrational behavior. Because now I'm pretty certain, sadly, I've adjusted position already. Because Aaron, like you, I would have been like, big hardback child, so still don't know how to travel. But I get it, because traveling now is not what traveling was 20 years ago.
The other day, I didn't have my car because I gotten into an accident.
There was a chicken in the car, and the car couldn't go.
We didn't spell Chicago, right?
Actively listening.
And I had to travel to the day that I dropped the car off by the street now. I probably, since I've been living where I'm living, I only traveled for about 3 weeks in the totality of 10 years. So the morning going to work, I jump in a car on my corner. Sando, yeah. Open my wallet.
Oh dear. Traveler's plight, boy.
Nah, all that was $100 bill.
That is what clearly, you know, anybody who hear you pause after you open a wallet and didn't know what it is you're talking about, have a car. Right. Travelers know from the time you crack that wallet and you see blue, you're like, wait, I hope this driver is not a 36.
So as I drive, unfortunately, I only have $100 bill. He was at 37.
Oh.
Right? So he turned and watched me. So you didn't know better? I said,
oh, I remember to say this.
Alright. No, actually, this is our next one. So I said, alright, cool. I say, if you don't mind, could you stop by the shop? I will get the change.
All I hear in my head is Winston so now. Go ahead.
What's up?
I don't mind.
Wow. So we end up stopping by the shop. The shop man didn't have change to give a full change for the 100. All I wanted was a bottle of water.
Yeah.
So I end up telling the shop man, I say, how going now? How much change you have? He says 70 something. I say, well, you know, man, I just come here often. Give me the 70 something. I'll take the water and then give me back the 20 or whatever when I'm coming home or whatever the case is. Get the change. That taxi man quarreled with me from Diamond straight to Sandy. 1 for having the 100, 2 for making him stop.
Right.
And he said, in his words, I don't know how much passengers he missed out on because I stopped for 2 minutes. And 3, because he get catching 2 red lights.
All right. Oh, so you understand when you mentioned earlier the timing training off.
Yeah.
That is the position he was arguing from as well.
Right. Now, the thing about it is being able to go in your car and bounce your starter is a privilege. Not everybody has that privilege.
It's also a responsibility, people.
Well, a big responsibility. Insurance is cheap.
No, I just not only that too. I mean, like some people see driving out here, like they don't understand you are controlling a multi-thousand-pound piece of equipment that could kill people.
Yeah. Right? Now, the thing is, a lot of us just look at things, as Ricardo would have said yesterday, from a one-lane street. We have to understand that life as it is a multi-lane highway with many people traversing the same direction but in different lanes. All we have to do in life is to ensure that we do our best for our lane to be a safe operating lane, but also understanding that everybody has a part to play to make sure the entire multi-lane highway functions safely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying put on your blinders and drive for you alone.
Right.
But also operate in a space where you are ensuring safe passage to somebody 3 lanes over
Yeah, that's right.
or 4 lanes over. All we asking is awareness, compassion, empathy, love, kindness, and what you call it, a MJZ?
No judgment zone.
Yeah. For certain aspects.
You know, what you just asked for, Aaron, that sound like the answer to if you were to win Miss Universe pageant, what would you hear what you just rattle off there?
Real plenty
The
things, though.
impossibilities, you know. You just all we want is world peace,
No, brother, I
to
never
end
said
the
that.
hunger,
I never said that.
to put a man on the moon. Come on.
That happened?
Hey, let us not start that.
Before we talk about start that, we are now about 28 minutes inside tonight's program, and we have not kicked off the program like we always do. Because we'll go back into that. We must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, we must always
Give thanks.
Secondly, we have to say thank you to Mr. Tony P. Sorry, for the past 4 hours of radio, doing like only he could do. Well, 3 hours, sorry, only he could do on a Tuesday. And the P this week stands for
Hypocrisy.
exactly. Okay. And if you don't know the voices that you're listening to, I'm yours truly Aaron 868. I'm ready each and every time that calls is my code. And I sit here alongside my Berber with no fur, without the flow, always on the go and in the know.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage and the global stage.
All right. We really ran inside that first 30 minutes there, but it was needed.
I don't know if I'll call it a rant per se, because it was, by definition, mostly reasonable. It was practical.
Yeah, because
It was the point.
it had 2 ways that when I came to record this program, this edition of Living Room, there were 2 ways I said I was going to start tonight's program. And
Wild was both of them. Wild.
no, the second one was actually very calm.
So that was the wild one?
Yeah, that was the wild one.
Okay.
All right, and I could have gone wilder, but I still held back because I also have to be mindful of the responsibility that the radio station, WACK 90.1 FM has.
Yeah.
Because this is not the 868 podcast
Right.
or the Red Step Talk or any kind of off licensed
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
we have a certain level of responsibility that comes along with our broadcast in terms of, and when I say broadcast, in terms of what we say.
Mhm.
So we have to be mindful of that and bring it from a place where we talk about facts as opposed to just casting aspersions
And if we do have opinions, which we do,
a lot of the time.
yeah, we have to make sure that we present these in a responsible and respectful manner
And
as
also
well.
state that they are opinions.
We have to state that something is
No,
our
we don't have
opinion.
to state, but when I say state is our opinion,
So state is our opinion, but we don't have to state is our opinion.
yeah.
Huh.
It sounds complicated, but it's really simple.
We'll simplify that. Simplify that for me, Aaron.
Like when we talk about things, if we know it's coming from a place of fact, you put the articles right here.
I'm gonna put the 36 up where you just do that. I get you, Mr. Williams. One of the other things I've noticed as well is that there are callers to the program who, depending on what the topic is or the contribution that they have to make, they prefer to remain anonymous, even if we already know who it is. And that's okay as well too. I've seen that happen. But I'm getting used to daytime talk
Somebody
show.
called you and they said was anonymous or something.
It happening. You know, people calling and want to make the contributions and they rather not be on the record as the individual who said it.
I was so glad we was
That's fair too.
off the dial. I was so glad we was off the dial. But really and truly, and you see the thing about it, you also have to understand that once you have a broadcast license, there are people that depend on your conversations or
Mhm.
your rhetoric for them to develop their opinions on topics.
Yeah.
So it comes with a level of weight and responsibility, akin to the level of weight and responsibility that men bear inside their relationships and their spaces. And the reason why I bring that into the mix now is because June is Men's Mental Health Month as well.
Is it? Because
And I had this whole debate with JL
is the
last week.
8th, I have seen no post from anybody, and the only people who spoke about it so far have been, I think, Franz and I think Kivo.
Yeah, because Kivo is doing a series now.
I just watching.
Right? So apparently, according to the streets, May is Mental Health Month. I have the thing somewhere inside here.
Yes, May is Men's Mental Health Month.
And the thing about it is, you know, they like to have this statement that, oh, May is Men's Mental Health Month, and no one is talking about it, and blah, 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 blah.
Juna.
Sorry, June. My apologies.
Yeah.
Right, but as we traditionally do it, Men's Health Month, or Men's Mental Health Month, usually around November, when we have the Movember campaign.
Yeah.
But even if the streets are saying that June is Men's Mental Health Month, I think it's worthy of us as men in a space to have the most uncomfortable question being asked. And I'm not asking you, where's the scene jelly bean? Where's the word hummingbird? Or what's the gist, physicist? I'm asking you, Ricardo, how are you?
Excited and tired.
Why tired? I'll get to the excited after.
In some new seasons and going into new seasons, and these things are testing my capacity. They requiring making adjustments into some spaces that are comfortable and to some that aren't. I have considerably less time to myself than I would have preferred, just because as a man responsible for his environment, you have things to do. Right? And admittedly, the reasons that I'm tired is the same reason that I'm excited. I prepare for high noon with a vigor and determination that I had not prepared for anything in a long time. I research my music. I look for my music. I play the music to ensure that there isn't anything in it that would detract from what it is I want to say about that thing at that time. Because you might get two real good verses that are talking about what you're talking about, and then you'll get one verse that will totally derail what the rest of the song was saying. And so I'm up late listening to the music, and learning the music. And of course, as with any research online, there are rabbit holes you might end up going down. Where just because you look up a particular song, you play it, you listen to it, and then you realize other music from the artists that might be interesting, or other music in the topics. But it is taking a lot of active mental application and rewiring, because let's put it this way, this is the most I've immersed myself in music, culture, history in a long time. And we have brilliant, talented people in this country who have had a lot to say about a lot of things. So I am being stretched. I'm in a season where I'm being stretched. And admittedly recognizing that when you hit them switches, when you sit down behind that panel and you put on those headphones and you put on that mic, there is a increased level of responsibility, not just for what people hear, but how to feel about what they're hearing. Like the music that you play could put people in a pensive mood. It could make them forget about it. It could make them angry about it. It could make them sad about it. The music is life. And literally, when you get to play the music that people listen to, that we're talking about, when you get to play the music that people listen to, you literally have access to the life. So, tired and excited. Excited and tired.
I always told, like any young DJ that I talk to, I always let them know that as a DJ at an event, you are not just there to play music.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually in control of the emotions of the event. You could carry them on a musical journey which will take them through joy, laughter, sadness, euphoria, or just a mellow vibe. And it comes with a weight of responsibility that someone entrusts you to do that at their event. For radio, is a little bit more, there's a bit more layers to it, because you have to understand that there's a certain element of programming that comes along with it. But I'm happy to hear that you are enjoying the weight of responsibility. You are enjoying the knowledge aspect that comes along with learning the music. Because I could tell you, when I started on WACK 10 years ago or so,
This before or after you light your parents to go play music in Paris?
Why you had to bring that back up?
Hashtag sauce.
I'm not going to say you had sauce yet?
No, not yet. You know what I had though? I had some brilliant okra, saltfish and smoked herring. Brilliant. Hear what I telling all you? Saltfish and smoked herring is life. But when you put okra in it, jeez. And before that, pachoy. I had some pachoy and saltfish a couple days before that. Jeez. Lord have mercy. Hey, all you eating green, it could be a beautiful thing. Mwah. Way. Get your leafy greens. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I ain't gonna lie, I having flashbacks to them sandwiches. Sorry, you were saying.
You're not done yet?
I good.
Sure?
I real good.
You make it?
Nah. Yes, actually. I forget. I'm so accustomed to that. I just normally just watch the wares after.
That's going to be great to say. You make it? Nah. Yeah, boy. So clearly added to your tiredness and excited is also confused.
Yeah, it happening.
That was happening again old.
I not getting younger. I getting younger in spirit.
But really and truly, guys, the music
10 years ago.
was a
You see, when you started working WACK 10 years ago, you're telling a story.
wow, thanks. Because you're totally sidetracked more with this okra and saltfish and smoked herring. These red literal herrings. This one was
See what
smoked.
we did there, right? See what we did there. Literally use herrings. Yeah. I can't remember the story.
When I started working WACK 10 years ago, my music library would have consisted of what we would call hits, right? The popular songs
Yeah.
within the years. So let's say for 2020, I might have 50 songs. Yeah, the popular ones, and then I might have one or two that I like.
Yeah.
But as I continued to learn the music, my library went from it just being the popular songs to having the majority of songs for the year. So regardless of where I went, I could play what it had. And I distinctly remember that would have been 2019. I did a company's Christmas party, and somebody come and ask me for a Nyla Blackman. And in the back of my mind is, this Nyla is not one of the best. Like, I don't fancy it. But that person, she was in love with that Nyla. And I made sure I play the song for two reasons. One, the person requested the song.
Yeah.
And two, that person requested the song was signing the check. So
Right. That's really good reason to comply. Yeah.
Well, the knowledge of learning the music, the knowledge of understanding how to put the music together,
Yeah.
and understanding that certain times of the day calls for certain music. Like for me, I never used to like talk radio in the morning.
Yeah.
I used to quarrel with my mother, mommy, why are we listening to this? But now, on my commute up the road, if I do turn on the radio, you know what I'm listening to? Talk radio.
All right.
So I want to hear opinions. I want to hear the views of the people.
Gonna get your pulse.
Then, as the day progresses,
Wake up at Foxy, guys. Yeah.
as the day progresses, more music is involved. And then in the evening, you're looking for a little strip to talk to drive home too,
Right.
to decompress after the day. So it's really a great understanding and great to hear that you're enjoying the new space that you're in.
Thoroughly enjoying being immersed in the music and the history, because you know what I also do sometimes. I read the news articles and that kind of thing around some of the music and the artists, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And you could tell in that hour at high noon there, where I'm mostly just playing music, I will pull tunes from the 30s, 40s, 50s.
So when you was a youth.
Wow.
Sorry, no, my bad.
Called for.
When Kenny was a youth.
Right?
And
And
sad that two of we come up and are good music at the same time. Man.
and realizing that the music pre-colonial, the pre-independence and the post-independence music, right, the different ways the same problems expressed, even looking at music before the Black Power movement and since. So I get to juxtapose what story this music telling.
And you also get to realize in doing that, there is a lot of music where the problems that would have been highlighted or sung about aren't new problems.
They aren't new problems. Sometimes it's, different actors in the role and
the
different stages, but
The same movie.
yeah,
It's like watching a remake of a live action or something.
there was it was very interesting to me to realize how many end of days, this is the worst it has been songs we have. There's a lot, and I'm thinking, this was the worst it's ever been since 1983. We 40 years plus later, it's the worst it's been in the 70s, and it's like, every time they say we are at the edge of this cliff, the edge of this precipice, you look back and realize, well, of course we have the advantage of doing so now, but you look back and realize every time they say we in full crisis mode and Trinidad going through,
It has some.
we make it.
We could make it if we try.
Yeah. That's one of the amazing things about being down in the music and realizing.
And it's not just in the music. In terms of understanding history, you would also look at it from the aspect that this could be the cliff here. Sorry, I'm just make sure I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. This could be the cliff here, and we're talking about we're at the edge of the cliff in 1983. But instead of people realizing that we're not moving closer to the edge of them, we're just moving laterally across the edge.
Yeah. Then that's perfect. Actually, that's an excellent allegory.
I have them from time to time.
Every now and again. We, yes, in a difficult space, but we've been in a difficult space for a while, and we keep surviving. So yes, we in crisis mode, but we are people who
Resilient.
resilient. We are resilient, and according to Aaron Sinnott, we are our greatest assets. And hearing people singing about just how bad it is, but how beautiful we are, 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 years after the fact, it does encourage me. Like, I know I am playing the songs I am playing for a reason, because yes, we have issues to address, but we still here addressing them.
And the thing is, no matter how much you address issue A, issue B is there to be addressed as
Right.
well. So it is just like the multi-lane highway. Many issues are riding on the road. It's just you had to know which one is the more important one to address at that time. Because what I think a lot of us fail to understand or realize is that it is impossible to address all the issues at the same time.
Yeah, you can't address everything all the time at the same time. That is
You're
Like-
not omniscient.
like God mode. So I'm excited, Aaron. So having answered hopefully adequately, I wanna
The
ask.
answer wasn't for me though. The answer was for you.
Well, I knew already.
You sure?
Yes, I knew. I'm very self-aware,
Really?
Yes. Anyway, Mr. Attempt at deflection. It's June. A man entered increased levels of commitment and responsibility since the last Men's Health Month. You're facing challenges as work evolves and devolves around you. You've been a meme. Carnival this year. Carnival next year is going to be interesting when those memories pop up on your Facebook. You
I know what
think
you're talking about.
you don't know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
You want to play it? Because I could add the clip,
No.
All right,
Please
cool.
don't.
Yeah. But on the real, Aaron, with all the things that have been moving and shaking around you, how are you?
Someone asked me that question yesterday,
You can't give me the same answer, though.
and I'm going to give you the same answer.
It's a good answer.
I am managing as well as I can.
That's a good answer.
And the reason why I say I'm managing as well as I can is because life is a multi-lane highway. My life is a multi-lane highway now, where I have the lane of self,
Mm-hmm.
I have the lane of home and family,
Mm-hmm.
I have the lane of my normal 8 to 4 job,
Mm-hmm.
I have the lane of DJ Aaron 868,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also have the lane of still being Joel and Branchild,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in navigating all those lanes is to make sure that you don't derail any of the cars in any of the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
A car could wobble, but it's not supposed to crash,
Mm-hmm.
right? With respect to again, I can't hide it because every week a car is put on the left side of the couch and my left hand is be showing all the time,
Yeah.
right? The season of becoming a husband has taught me that I need to forget who single Aaron was.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a transition which a lot of me was not fully prepared for.
Please start to get warm, boy.
Was
You go ahead and listen.
no,
Actively listening.
because you have to look at it that single persons could do what they want essentially, right? But once you have that level of responsibility of now you have to take care of your family, there's that weight that you have to be present.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be aware. And a lot of us, this generation of men, and this is in no way a slight at the elder men in society, we have realized that we don't want to be certain things that you all were.
Mm-hmm.
And that demands a certain level of presence.
Yeah.
And not presence as in presence.
Although that helps.
That helps. But it's a matter of presence, where we have to be present at the home.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just about being a present father. Somebody would have called High Noon yesterday and say, we need the fathers to be present.
Yeah.
You also need to understand that your children come into your life and they leave when they get big. So you need to be a present husband.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that, as much as you went the marriage counseling and stuff like that, you have to understand that learning it in a book or learning it in a classroom setting is different than applying it in real life.
Yeah.
And that has been one of the things for me that has been an ongoing lesson. And I will admit, for me, I do think I pass every day. But you had to pass most days. Or I don't say an ace it, but I say pass. Because as I put as my WhatsApp status yesterday, perfection is relative.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of managing the lane that is my job, that's my job. But I don't know the way to say that. You have to manage it as it comes. Every day, you have to roll with the sides on the ship. In terms of managing Aaron 868, I never knew how far I reach WACK had. You know, you always say this, huh? I always say that you never know how far WACK listeners are.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day I was in Price Mart, pushing my trolley, and a man watched me. WACK is World Calypsos are playing, and just walk off. Me know this man. He didn't introduce himself, nothing of the sort. And even 5 months later, people still meeting me in the road and telling me that. And I didn't think. I knew the Facebook meme is one thing and the video circulating and politicians sharing it and all these different things is one part. But because you had to understand the game that politicians play and the game that public figures play, but the average man on the street 5 months later still walking up to me and telling me that phrase. I didn't understand in that moment the gravity of that situation. I didn't understand it. But to know that the one meme worthy moment was a good meme, I could take that. And then the last part in terms of being Joel and Brian child, which is a huge responsibility of its own, is understanding that as I grow older, my parents are also growing older. So I also need to, as much as you had to be a present husband, you had to be good at work, you had to make sure and take care of yourself, all these different things, you have to understand that continuing to spend time with your parents, if even it's a simple phone call, is also important. So when I say that I'm managing as best as I can, I also understand that some aspects may not be as good as others at this present moment. But somewhere down the road, that aspect may have to take precedence.
Yeah.
So it's the great balancing act of life. Part of it, you'll say that, boy, I didn't think I could have handled all of it. But you also have to understand that once you pray and have a strong base with God, you can handle all things through Christ who strengthens you. So that's why I go with the answer, managing as well as I can.
Yeah. While you speaking, I was like, let me listen to what Aaron's saying and that he don't know he's saying. So I was taking some notes. Right, so you said self, house and family, well, home and family, 8 to 4, DJ,
Right.
and then
Family of origin, you'll call that one,
Right.
essentially.
Brian and Joella.
Yeah.
So I'm here and I'm like, okay, so S for self, and then H for home, and then E for 8, and then D for DJ, and then S for son, sheds. And then
Nice acronym.
you went on to iterate, and I was like, okay, so you start with H as a husband. So home and family now is husband, right? The E from 8 is now employment, right? The D is in DJ, that's still DJ. The S for son is still son, but you actually end by starting back with something else where you say you could do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So I'm like, all right, so the first S is not just self, but it's also spirit or soul. So I'm looking at what Aaron's sheds are, and it's like self or soul, husband and home, employment, DJ, and son. And if you have those, if you could handle those 5 lanes, I think we'll be alright, you know.
No, the next part of it is that is my proverbial shed.
Yeah.
Everybody's shed is
It'll be something different, yeah.
right? And you have to know the components of your shed.
Mm-hmm.
Because once a child comes into the mix,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not saying something had a drop off, but things would have to be rearranged as well.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it that, as Ricardo said, every season demands something different. Are you willing to understand the season that you're in and do what that season demands?
Okay.
Because you don't want to be in the 4th quarter of the game and throw a pass off somebody back that make your team lose the game.
Wow.
No, again, I'm just using the analogy because we're talking 4th quarter here.
Right.
You had to know what is demanded of you. Call the timeout. Take a break. Say, hey, could we discuss this?
Yeah. You assess.
Yeah, assess the situation. And for Men's Health Month, we know they have the floating around of the role of the man and all those different things. And I guess we could probably discuss that in our next episode of the living room.
Because we are perilously.
Because we're very perilously close. But we also have to understand that to even look at assessing, you had to know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You had to know the components of your shed.
Yeah.
So with that being said, know the components of your life and what is in your shed. Let's start there.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ricardo Mitchell, the social surgeon global stage. Thanking you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good, stay safe, and you can catch me at high noon tomorrow on WACK 90.1 FM, where your matters matter. All right, Aaron?
And I'm your Shirley Aaron 868. I remind you each and every time that culture is my code. And I also tell you that love is a currency, so spend some today. I really lost track of time. I needed to make mention of this specifically. There is a workshop, a free men's health workshop. It takes place.
Good thing you wasn't talking about mental health this episode.
Yeah, boy. It takes place on the 18th of June. It's an online workshop from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's, well, for you to find out further information, you can check out Peepsville Consultancy Limited's social media pages. I think Cardo will put the picture.
I'll put the image up and we could drop a link in the description.
In the description, right? It's a Father's Day workshop, a free Father's Day workshop. Strong roots, strong fathers. Stronger fathers, stronger families, stronger future. Be the father your children will thank you tomorrow. Right? Most importantly, is a free workshop.
Free.
I always remind you that love is the currency, so spend some today. Let somebody know you love them, guys. Mr. Desmond is up next with the big band. Keep it locked.
Uncle Dezo!
You have a plum tree?
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Cool. Sure.